Breaking news, we have a trade. The Boston Celtics have made a deal with the Portland Trail Blazers, and I'll admit, I don't know what the Blazers are doing on this deal. This is a head scratcher and a steal for the Boston Celtics. I'm Trevor Lane. This is the Basketball Bulletin. Make sure you subscribe right here to the channel. Going to keep you up to date on what's going to be a very busy NBA offseason, obviously. A busy NBA offseason. Take a look at this. Oh, my God. The Boston Celtics have traded Jrue Holiday, who has 3 years remaining on his contract at 35 years old, to the Blazers for Anfernee Simons on an expiring contract. And how the hell did they get this? 2 second-round picks. What are you doing, Portland? They gave up they gave up draft capital plus Anfernee Simons' expiring contract to get Jrue Holiday on a contract that I think a lot of teams in the NBA would look at and say this is a negative value contract given how many years are on it and Jrue Holiday's age. Shams frames it as Portland makes an aggressive move to reacquire Holiday. Yeah, don't forget, the Blazers gave Holiday to the Celtics a few years ago to help the Celtics win an NBA championship, and now get Holiday back after the Celtics got the last remaining great years out of Jrue Holiday. Absolutely unbelievable. The franchise originally received Holiday from Milwaukee in the Damian Lillard trade in 2023, later moved him to Boston. That ultimately swung the title, right? I mean, the Bucks sending Jrue Holiday to the Blazers in the Damian Lillard trade, and then the Blazers turning around and giving Jrue Holiday to the Boston Celtics for Robert Williams. That obviously did not work out very well for the Portland Trail Blazers. And they also got Malcolm Brogdon in the deal. Didn't work out super great for the Blazers. Worked out great for the Celtics. They won a championship. Now the Blazers get Holiday back. Oh, this is a head scratcher, everybody. A major head scratcher. And that deal, 2 first-round picks went to the Blazers. Simons joins Boston on an expiring contract. That's just it. The Celtics are at a point where they're trying to clear salary, and that's exactly what they're going to be doing here. This is an incredible move for the Boston Celtics in terms of clearing long-term salary. Shams says an extremely active offseason begins for the Celtics with the trade of Jrue Holiday, who played a critical role in the championship. The Celtics remain engaged in trade talks surrounding multiple key players on their roster. Yeah, look, Boston's going to make major changes. Major changes. We all know that's coming. They're going to make big changes to their roster. They're going to switch things up considerably. But again, the key for them is that they're getting Anfernee Simons, not so much for Anfernee Simons. Like, Anfernee Simons is a good player, there's no question, and he has some value, but it's about getting a younger player, 26 years old, on an expiring contract. That's the key. Jrue Holiday, again, has 3 more years remaining under contract here. That's where things get really, really tricky here for the Portland Trail Blazers, and why this is such a head scratcher here. Bobby Marks lays it out. You've got Holiday coming into the Blazers, $72 million owed to Holiday in 2026 and 2027 in those 2 seasons. Whew, that is a lot of money. $40 million in tax savings. Takes them $18 million below the second apron, and Simons is extension eligible. Meanwhile, Portland gets Jrue Holiday, $30 million this season, $32.4 million next season, $34.8 million, and at 37.2, well, this is the current season. This is the 25-26 season here, the 32.4 million, but 37.2 million player option in 2027. Insult to injury, it's a player option at the end of this thing. Look, Jrue Holiday, I'm not saying this is the most egregious contract ever. I'm not saying Jrue Holiday can't return value here, but as players get older, what tends to happen is that their defense drops off first. That typically is the first thing to go for a player. It's their defensive prowess. And that's what Jrue Holiday has made a living on, is how good he is defensively. And he has been truly one of the best defensive guards in the NBA for a number of years now. He's done a phenomenal job, won championships in Milwaukee, won a championship in Boston, a championship in Milwaukee, and won it in Boston. But you look at Jrue Holiday, the minutes even dropped this last year, 30.6 minutes per game. The points per game have dropped. Everything is starting to come down for Jrue Holiday. Things are starting to trend downward, and that's to be expected. 34 years old, going on 35. In fact, did he turn 35 already? Yeah, in fact, he did. Happy birthday, Jrue Holiday. Turned 35 on June 12th. So a 35-year-old Jrue Holiday with 3 years under contract, including a player option on the final year. And Portland said, hey, let's kick in draft capital to get that guy. Now, maybe Portland flips Jrue Holiday once again. Maybe Portland decided we don't want to be the team to extend Anfernee Simons. We don't want to do that. We're not going to sign up long-term to be in the Anfernee Simons business. Maybe. And then perhaps Portland feels like they can once again flip Jrue Holiday. I know Portland won some games at the end of last season. I thought they were on the rise. They're on the upswing, and that made them at least interesting for this coming season. But this is the kind of win now move. You look at Portland last season, 36-46 on the season. They won some games at the end of the year and really did pick things up. But this is the kind of thing, like Jrue Holiday makes sense for a team that's on the cusp, for maybe the Denver Nuggets, right? A team that's got a 30-year-old Nikola Jokic, 30-plus-year-old Nikola Jokic, for the Clippers, right? It makes sense for those teams. For Minnesota, you want to add a piece to put you over the top, a veteran-heavy team. The Warriors, for sure. You want to add a guy that's going to put you over the top. Jrue Holiday makes a lot of sense for those teams. We talked about him in relation to Orlando. Look, his skill set is exactly what Orlando's been looking for in terms of a defensive guard that could do some things for you in the backcourt. Maybe even Cleveland. He would make some sense there next to Donovan Mitchell. But even then, the age, the amount of time left on the contract would be a concern. So it's not so much that Jrue Holiday has no value as a player. It's the landing spot that is so shocking and it's so strange in this trade to see Jrue Holiday not only going to Portland, but Portland giving up draft capital in order to get him. Portland is a young team on the rise. They've got Denny Avdia. They've got some players there. They've got Shaedon Sharpe. They've got pieces. Toumani Camara is phenomenal. He's maybe the most valuable piece from the DeAndre Ayton trade. Ironically, he's been fantastic. They've got interesting young pieces in Portland, but are they ready to win right now? No, they're not ready to go all in and win right now. And by the time Shaedon Sharpe and all the rest of these guys in Portland are really ready to go win, Jrue Holiday is going to be long gone. And if he's not, he's going to not be anywhere near what he's been historically. So this is a real head scratcher, unless, again, there's something we're missing here. There's something else coming, because this, on the surface, makes no sense whatsoever for the Portland Trailblazers to making this kind of a win-now move for a veteran 35-year-old player. Wow. Everybody, look, you never know what to expect in the NBA offseason, but this is a complete shock. Right now, I can tell you my immediate reaction to this trade, huge win for the Boston Celtics to get off of that long-term Jrue Holiday contract. Huge win for them. And to not only get off of that contract, but to get draft capital back. And for Portland right now, I have to consider this a giant loss for the Portland Trailblazers, a huge mistake for them, unless there is something else coming, unless Portland is rerouting Jrue Holiday and he's going somewhere else. I do want to leave that sort of wiggle room open here in case there is something where we're going to go, oh, okay, now it makes sense for the Portland Trailblazers. But as reported currently, yikes. This makes no sense what the Blazers are doing here. Even just acquiring Jrue Holiday in general doesn't make a lot of sense for the Portland Trailblazers. And giving up, I know it's just second-round picks, but giving up any kind of draft capital to turn an expiring Anfernee Simons into Jrue Holiday, 26-year-old Anfernee Simons into 35-year-old Jrue Holiday, I'm flabbergasted. That's why I keep thinking there has to be something else to this. But this is the deal as it's being reported right now. Wow. Huge win for the Boston Celtics as it's being reported. They actually get some positive value back for Jrue Holiday, and Portland making the kind of all-in win now. You have a 1 or 2 year window type of move that, frankly, their roster does not scream they are ready for. Huge surprise out of Portland. And again, all I got to think, I don't think Portland's stupid. Something else has to be coming here. But nonetheless, that's the news as it stands. As this changes, of course, we'll keep you up to date. But Portland reacquiring Jrue Holiday from the Boston Celtics. The Celtics, big win for them. Getting Anfernee Simons on an expiring deal. They could turn around and flip him. There's probably more moves coming for the Celtics as they look to cut salary with Jason Tatum out for most likely the entirety of next season. The Boston Celtics are going to take this year to drop below that second-tier apron. They're going to cut salary and do what they can. So more moves coming here for Boston, but this is a big win, picking up a couple of second-round picks plus an expiring contract for an aging Jrue Holiday. But everybody give me your thoughts. Try to make heads or tails of it. Let me know in the comment section. What the hell is Portland doing? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe right here to the channel. Till next time, see ya and stay safe.